Duggar Dillard rushed to the ER, shares emotional photo. Duggar Dillard recently shared a devastating update with Duggar News followers about her ER visit. She shared an emotional picture and revealed how disturbing all of this was for her. The celeb's condition clearly wasn't just a bump in the road, because landing in an ER isn't something we do every day. Jill further talked about how this visit left a scar on her soul and how she was still dealing with the pain of it. What is this all about? What did she reveal? Is she fine? Keep on reading to learn more about Jill and her ER visit, because this news will leave you in tears. Jill wasn't able to handle the pain and was compelled to seek her Duggar News fans' help. She revealed that she met with an accident and she was dealing with a lot of pain. The celeb initially didn't want to talk about her accident, but spilled the details about how the driver who hit her didn't even have a driving license. Jill revealed that the driver was driving his mother's car, which had insurance. However, she was at peace as her husband was an attorney, and he could figure everything out. The celeb was further grateful that her family was safe. Jill even talked about how terrified she was to know that her kids were also in the car. Duggar News followers have watched Jill Dillard making several ER visits in the last few months. They know about her emotional miscarriage and how she had a stillbirth only 4 months after they found out about the pregnancy. The couple was devastated, and they were struggling to move on from this tragic news. Amid all this, Jill recently shared 2 pictures where she was sitting on a hospital bed in an ER room. Her eyes were swollen up, and it appeared she was crying a lot. The celeb had a box of tissues while her husband sat next to her. The latter had a concerning expression on his face, while he perhaps would have been consoling his wife after the major loss. Another picture featured Jill's hand with an IV inserted. Apparently, she revealed that these pictures were clicked when she learned that she lost Isla Marie. The celeb wrote in the caption, "1 year ago this evening we heard the words, 'I'm so sorry.'" Jill revealed that this was the day her fears came true after they saw the ultrasound screen in front of her. Jill added, "Our baby didn't have a heartbeat." She further wrote, "Our hearts were shattered." It is evident that Jill is still struggling to move on from this incident, and these memories still haunt her. Jill Duggar Dillard never expected her peaceful evening to spiral into a medical emergency. The former Counting On star, known for her candidness on social media, stunned fans when she posted an emotional photo from a hospital bed, revealing she had been rushed to the emergency room. Her face, pale and strained, told a story of pain, while her husband, Dillard, stood beside her, gripping her hand tightly. The image, dimly lit by the hospital's fluorescent glow, sent fans into a frenzy of concern. Comments flooded in immediately. "Are you okay, Jill? What happened? Praying for you, sweet girl." But Jill, always measured in her responses, took a moment before sharing the terrifying ordeal she had just endured. A sudden onset of pain. It all started as an ordinary day. Jill had been at home with her children, making dinner and preparing for bedtime routines. But a sharp, unrelenting pain hit her out of nowhere. It wasn't like anything she had ever felt before, intense, radiating, and impossible to ignore. At first, she tried to push through, hoping it would subside. But within minutes, she was doubled over in agony, struggling to catch her breath. "I knew something wasn't right," Jill later wrote in an emotional caption. "The pain was unbearable. I had 3 babies, and this was worse than labor." Derek, recognizing the urgency, didn't hesitate. He scooped up their youngest child, called for their eldest to grab his shoes, and helped Jill into the car. By the time they reached the ER, her vision had started blurring, and her hands were shaking. A scary wait for answers. Hospital staff rushed her into triage, running tests, checking vitals, and asking questions Jill could barely answer between winces of pain. Was it her appendix? A ruptured cyst? Something even more dangerous? The uncertainty was the worst part. "Waiting for answers is terrifying," Jill admitted. "Your mind races. I kept thinking about my boys at home, about how I needed to be okay for them." Derek never left her side. He rubbed her back, whispered reassurances, and tried to stay strong, though his eyes betrayed the fear he felt. Fans of the couple know how much they have been through, from breaking away from the Duggar family's strict rules to standing firm in their beliefs, but nothing could have prepared them for this moment. Finally, a diagnosis. After what felt like an eternity, doctors returned with news. Jill had suffered a severe ovarian cyst rupture. The pain, the dizziness, and even the near-fainting spell, it all made sense now. The relief of having an answer was mixed with the sobering reality of recovery. The rupture had caused internal bleeding, which meant she would need careful monitoring. Doctors administered pain medication, fluids, and instructed her on the next steps. Surgery wasn't necessary, but Jill would have to take it easy. A challenge for a hands-on mom of 3 active boys. Jill's emotional reflection. Once stable, Jill took to Instagram to share her gratitude. "This experience reminded me of how fragile life is," she wrote. "I'm so thankful for Derek, for the doctors and nurses who took such good care of me, and for everyone praying for us." She included a second photo, this one of her holding Derek's hand, Ivy still in her arm, with the words "grateful beyond measure." Jill's post was flooded with support. Fellow Counting On alumni like Jinger Duggar Vulov sent well wishes, while fans expressed their relief that she was on the mend. Many shared their own experiences with ovarian cysts, turning the comments into a space of solidarity and encouragement. A time for rest and reflection. For now, Jill has no choice but to rest, a rare thing for a woman constantly juggling motherhood, marriage, and her growing platform as an advocate for autonomy and healing after a strict upbringing. She ended her post with a heartfelt message. "If you're going through something scary, know you're not alone. Pain can feel isolating, but there's always light on the other side." As she takes time to heal, one thing is certain: Jill's strength, both physical and emotional, continues to inspire. The Dillard family has always lived in the public eye, their journey filled with triumphs, struggles, and unexpected twists. But when Jill Duggar Dillard, the eldest daughter of the famous Duggar clan, shared a startling post on her social media account, fans were thrown into a whirlwind of concern. The family has faced many challenges over the years, but nothing could have prepared them for the shocking emergency that would bring Jill to the hospital and captivate the hearts of thousands. The photo Jill shared was raw, real, and vulnerable. It showed her sitting in a hospital bed, her face pale, with tears in her eyes. The photo was not just a glimpse of a painful moment, but a testament to the vulnerability that even someone who's lived under a public microscope for so long can experience. The caption accompanying the image was short, but it carried so much weight. Sometimes life throws unexpected challenges our way. Thank you all for your thoughts and prayers. I'm hanging in there. Jill had never been one to shy away from sharing her life with her fans, but this photo hit differently. The Duggar family, despite their conservative values and upbringing, had always shown a united front when it came to adversity, and this moment was no exception. However, seeing Jill, a figure who has grown up on television, looking so fragile, shook the foundations of the image fans had of her. The day had started like any other, but it quickly spiraled into an emergency that none of them saw coming. Jill had been feeling unwell for days, but chalked it up to stress and exhaustion. As a mother of 2 young children, with the responsibilities of running a household, homeschooling, and supporting her husband, Derek Dillard, Jill had learned to push through physical discomfort. But this time, something was different. It all started the night before when Jill complained of feeling unusually dizzy, a sensation she hadn't experienced before. The dizziness turned into nausea, and as the night wore on, Jill's condition worsened. Derek, always the attentive husband, tried to comfort her as best he could, but it was clear that this wasn't something they could just wait out. By morning, Jill's symptoms had intensified. Her dizziness had turned into an overwhelming sense of vertigo, making it nearly impossible for her to stand or walk without help. Derek immediately called for medical help. Jill was rushed to the ER, where the doctors quickly took action. A flurry of tests followed as the medical team worked to determine the cause of her sudden illness.